computer to come up at the moment. I got a bit of a bad news. I don't think I've got enough of these welding rods. I've used some of it for some other stuff, and dear, where's my pens gone? Right, I'll get my red pen. Oh, it's sticking to everything, the magnets and all that. Right, that's the end one. I'll just move these other two bars out of the way a minute. Now the problem is ten, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. Oops, mouse is in the way now. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Actually, I need to mark the mat. Put a dot there. Saves me a lot of hassle. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, get the other bars next to that. 6, 12, 18. Nope, I don't have enough. I can only get 18. I need to make some notes on this actually. Oh, it's annoying when you just realise something hits you and you think, oh no. I need 24. I need 24 perimeter. I need 24 perimeter. Actuated cores. For the outside. I've had the inside ones cut obviously on laser now, and actually I've only got 18 that I can cut from this welding rod. 80 I have 18 portions. Welding rod. You know what this means? It means I do have to order some more laminations. Oh my This is so annoying. Anyway, I was drawing up some plans today anyway, but yesterday. Hang on a minute. The outside cores. Let me just get this out here a minute. I've got these stuck in here temporarily, but I can. Basically, just take that out there. The actuation cores go on the between in here. Like, oh, ouch! Nearly stabbed myself then. The outside. Oh, hang on a minute. What's happening? Sorry, Z. Oh, it's the autoplay thingy. Right. I'm gonna. I'm gonna have to have some more course cut by the looks of it. Oh, damn it. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I was so eager to get this thing put together. And I realised, hang on a minute, I haven't measured them up. And, but at least I've done some good tests. I've had tests so far. I know that this works, this switching works. And this welding rod is exactly 3 millimeters wide as well. It would have been perfect. Okay, I can go out some more welding rod. Yeah, I could do that. I can go and buy some more, but well, I'll see tomorrow anyway. I'll work it out tomorrow because ideally, you see, I want it to come out this other end at this top here, to be closely coupled, well, to laid against the laminations. Well, I'll have a word with the engineering firm, see if they've got any, because they have to order this in, you see. They also have to order the welding rod in for me when I'm ordering, because they can't give me what their stock, because they're using that for doing their jobs. Yeah, I'm just going to have a think. So I'll put that away and read it, because I'm not going to be talking all the time. I stuck these in temporary, these little pieces. It's just to help me see the switching's working. Oh yeah, there's something I can show you. There is something I can show you. Right, let me just get my ball bearing. Right, at the moment they're all kind of. Oh, I need to put that. Oh damn it! I need to put that steel back in again. Hang on a minute. Actually, I found a piece that's stuck together, so that'll work, I think. Take this one out. Get this one in. Okay, that's stuck super good together. These two are, so that's good because they don't roll around. At the moment, these are all kind of, well, I wouldn't say they're on, but oh, this ball bearing's rolling around. Hang on. Right. They kind of got residual because they're not being biased in any way at the moment. I need to. I've got the camera a bit closer than normal, so you can get closer look. Right, if I bias this with my magnet. Now this is not the same as what I was doing yesterday, but the other day, because there's something different I want to show you in a minute. I'm going to stick this on the biasing on here, right? Now, as you can see, the ball bearing is stuck to that. Hang on, let's get it right way around. It's stuck right to that one because that one's active. Put it to the one next to it and it won't stick. Let's see. It's trying to go to the next one. It's not sticking to, well, it is a little bit because of the magnetic flux on the nearby one. If I just go creep at it, you'll notice it's not actually been attracted to this end one because that's off. It's actually been attracted to the next two there. Right, now let's bias, flip the biasing on the top. There's something different I'm going to show you in a minute. Now this one is on and that one's off. So I've got creep at it from there. You see it wants to go to this one or that one. Either that one or the one on the end because they're on now. Okay, like you can see that these are on the ends, right? This one's off. That's on. Middle one, try to get to the middle one. No way, I can't. I can't get to this middle one towards the ball bearing because they want to go to the ones that are on. You see the way it rolls either way? See, it's that one or this one, and that one's off on the end as well. Right? Okay, that's something I want to show you. Now I'll show you what's different. Before, my cores, I had the look at my pencil. The switching, the cores, I had the magnets running up all the way to the core, and that was it, right? Well, now there's a slightly difference. There's a magnet on top as well, and the magnet on top is pulling, say, it might be north facing towards the core, and south facing towards the core on the other side. So now I've got a better off state. I have actually got a better off state now. See, when it's not being biased, which it's not at the moment, I have a much more stable off state. There is a little bit of residual there, but there is a little bit of residual because there's an imbalance because I've already actually got one tiny magnet on one side and there's about three on the other, so there will be a slight amount of biasing on there, but not as much as what I had before. So in the off state, I really want them off, if you know what I mean. So there's a slight amount there, but there's not as much. And this particular iron is not ideal anyway. It's a coat hanger wire, this kind of stuff, and it's not exactly very good. But the off state is much better, and it's such that if I just bring this magnet even this far away, right, about 4 inches away, if I put it in my hand like this and turn around, even there it's biased. I can feel the biasing. I mean, that is off. Right, let's just try to lift it up. It's not going to lift that ball bearing up. It's a slight residual because it's been biased now, and it'll stick to that one. So I mean, I've got the same distance. These magnets are way over here. Look, and that one's kind of off still. It won't really lift it. It's this one that's lifting it. That one's on slightly. Now I'm miles away from it, right? There's let's try and get this on the camera. Inches. I'm about 2 inches away right now. The ruler. Can't get this on the camera. I don't know if I can see. I've got a gap of 2 inches at the moment. Now I'm going to flip this around. The other polarisation. Now it's still 2 inches away. Now let's see which one's on. Now the outside one. Oh. No, the outside one's off. You have to be careful you don't get stuck to the... Oh no, is that on now? Hold on a minute. I'm still 2 inches away. That one's on slightly. They're all slightly on slightly actually. I've got quite a big gap there, but it's not sticking to that one very well. It wants to creep up to the magnets that are further in, because the magnets are actually here and it's trying to stick to those. So I have to come at it low, under the radar sort of thing. Let's see. I want to try this one. Yeah. Well, you can see I'm quite a long way off, and it's mainly wanting to stick to these magnets here rather than, because these are not very, like, these are not on really. That one was definitely off. That was on slightly. That was on slightly. That was pretty off. Now let's bring this a bit closer. Now let's bring it to an inch. I'm using my other finger now to hold it. It's an inch away now. Now that is definitely on. That is off. Let's try it. Scissors keep moving. Right, it's off, that one. Oops, it stuck to the outside of the magnet, so I'm just trying to hold these scissors down. Right, that one's on. That one's off. Oh! Right, they jumped out of my hand then. Hang on, I want about an inch again, sorry. It moved, it jumped. Right. That one should be, I think, on. Yeah, it is. That one's on. So yeah, it switches quite easily actually, even though the gain is very varied. And that's off. That's on. Trying this. You can see the bend. Oh. That's on. That one's off. That one's slightly on. These are not very good for testing though, because they don't go all the way through. They're actually loosely coupled to these little bars that I made. I've pushed the bars up so they're half sticking out, so that I can have these bars pushed halfway in to connect in the middle. If these little bars that I cut, just a minute. These little bars that I actually cut in my vise, they're all about 3mm thick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 now, and I've got 4 sets of magnets, so I'm actually getting a much better switching effect than I have, because it's more in balance with it now. And I haven't put the other cores on yet, because as I say, I've been doing tests, and once I stick them on, they're on for good, and I super glued on. I want to make sure, I want to test it fully and get really familiar with how it behaves on one side before I put the other side on, because it might affect it all, and I have to remember the differences, and that's why I'm not rushing to do the other side yet. So I want to familiarise myself with all aspects of behaviour with the cores at so far in. I can push this in further, these little bits of core, and push them in more, but then these little bars on the other side come out more. So it's all about finding out the optimum settings and to get the best result. I'll push that down a little bit too far now. And the welding rod, I'm not really that happy with it. I don't like it's really rigid stuff, but that's on a little bit. That one's on a bit. I don't know why that one's on slightly, because it's quite close to the bearing or something. Anyway, let's just bias it again. Right, let's stick my magnets on. Might be better if I had the microphone a bit near as well, because you'll be able to hear it. You'll be able to hear it better. The microphone really close. Right. Hopefully it's not going to block anything. Now if you listen to the noise of the clicks when it's attracted. You can hear how that one's really on. Now look at that one. It's off, that one. That one's on. That one's off. Yeah, it's always good to have audible feedback too. Yeah, somebody, I think somebody was telling me the other day that about audio sync problems. Well, you should be able to tell if the audio is out of sync by the sound. I think that's not in right. That's better. I noticed that that's off now. Swap the magnets around. That's on. That's off. Now I noticed that when I move these cars, hang on, I'll take that off a minute. When I move these little test pieces in, it actually affects the switching, the gain. It affects the gain on the amount of switch effects I've got. Which is south, hang on, that's north, that's south on here. See, that's pushing south now. Not a great deal, but I've just reset that and coming up, that's north. I'm getting a bit of locking, a feeling there. I've definitely got south there. Oh, that one's pulling a bit. I don't really find the other one. It's not as sensitive though. The one with the ball bearing in. I don't know if it's going to move this one because it sticks as well. Oh, there we go. It's moving. Right, that's north. I think that's south. Yeah, that's south. It's just that I've got to roll it a bit because. Right. Let me find out which is which because I'm confused now. This is south. And that's north. This one's not as strong. You see, this is the problem. You see, when you're using welded rod, they're not identical. They vary in their gain. And this is why I've been having the laminations cut, because they're all exactly the same. I've got the laser cut, the precision made. So this is part of the reason why having laminations cut is better than using welding rod, because welding rod you cut it and you just have to have something slightly different and it'll behave differently. These magnets are partially out, there's no wonder it's not working properly. It's got to be really properly aligned. I'll get this on here again. Let's try this again with the ball bearing thing. Right. Just reset that one. And that's that. Oh, damn it! Magnets have flipped around again. These are splaying out because they're not glued together. That's south. I think that one's north. I don't know. No, that's south as well. It's just difficult to work it out because this is not very sensitive compared, because the ball bearing, the magnetic field is coming in from all angles, and My other gauge, I prefer my other one. It moves much more easily and it's easy to see what's going on. So anyway, I probably will. Actually, I'll show you a diagram. Just a minute. I was going to get these done, but then I changed my mind and I redesigned it. I redesigned it because I'm no longer going to be using those half spheres and spheres, because that was a design for the middle concentric when it had magnets in it, but the new design doesn't use that, so that was not suitable. But this new design will be more apt for this new design, you know. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have these cut instead, and I'm hoping that the workload at the engineering place, I'm hoping that they're not overrun with jobs right now. Obviously it's summer, so that's an issue. I'll bring them up and find out what the turnaround is and how long it'll take. Because if it's going to take 3-4 weeks, I might just go and get some more welding rod. I'll see. But I really prefer the laminations as such. There's no cutting, you see. I'd have to spend all my time cutting stuff, and also fine tuning, because they're all exactly the same. And if keeping everything consistent, everything equal is important